Or Captain's red alert.
Captain on the bridge.
Alright, Captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, yes, we got some things to go over on the Star Trek Online official Twitter feed, so on screen. Yes, so Captains, before we get into this video, like it, and also subscribe here to the YouTube bridge, as it helps us find more like-minded Captains to join us here, where we can share our love for not only Star Trek Online, but things Star Trek. So, we got some blogs to go over. And of course, with that, we will always be dropping our ECs. And then, of course, at the end, give our conclusions. And we'll start with this. So this dropped actually yesterday. We didn't cover it because it was kind of too late, but we're going to include it in this video since it's here on the Twitter feed. So Star Trek Online will have PC maintenance. And of course, estimated downtime is 2.5 hours. As of this video, it is now complete. But what is in the patch notes, Caps? Again, it's for February 9th. And it is all the changes that we went over for the shields along with the pilot specialization. So all of this now that we went through is live. Now, we did kind of a fun little experiment last night or a couple nights ago when the specialization was announced, the revamp for pilot. We took out one of our ships, one of our favorite ships that had pilot on it. And we may do a video on that showing the pre-performance and then the post-performance. So look out for that as well. Again, it's one of my favorite ships. Some of you Captains already know, but look out here. We might share it here also on the YouTube bridge, but it would be interesting to see. I only use 2 abilities, but it would be the Reinforcement Squadron and also the Reroute to Weapons one. Where's that? Ignition, hold together, trajectory, space boom, deploy, clean getaway, and it's not here. But that's the one we used, is the reroute power to weapons, unless they didn't include it here. But regardless, that's the one we used. But definitely we use Reinforcement Squadron. And, you know, this is going to help. Some of my builds on my alts do have these emergency power shields and reverse shield polarity, the one that were not really geared. Oh, there it is, energy, reroute reserves to weapons. So yeah, the 2 that we use is energy weapons, reroute reserves to weapons, and reinforcement squadron. So we're going back here, the shield changes that we were all thinking that they were going to do, like this massive game-changing shield mechanic change. No, it was just really giving you immunity when you use emergency powered shields, when your shields are reduced to a certain capacity. And then for reverse shield polarity, it just grants immunity flat out. So that is now live. So next thing up here, Captain, yes, participate in 6 Klingon themed TFOs on PC and progress towards a free T6 Infinity ship of your choice. So Captains, this is one of the announcements we've been waiting for, which is the event campaign for 2023. So here we go. Of course, here it is. I love this design. That's why I had to use it in the thumbnail. It just looked really awesome and cool. So, a good day to die. Take on 6 Klingon themed TFOs in the first part of our 2023 event campaign. So for thousands of your Earth years, Klingon warriors have surged across their planet and now the depths of space, seeking only honor and glory. Some of you have wisely joined their ranks, but others are hiding behind the protection of your federations and your republics. Now is your time to make that right. Step into the light, walk forward in glory, and proclaim that today is a good day to die. Love that. The first step of our 2023 event campaign is coming to PC first. On the console bridge, we just finished our event campaign. So that will begin shortly, of course, as we're about a month behind, I believe, on the console bridge. And we're continuing the Klingon theme with an event dedicated to our favorite space Vikings or space samurai. Look, it depends on the writer. From February 16th to March 9th, You'll have the chance to participate in 6 different TFO, all of them in space, to progress towards both this year's event campaign grand prize and a set of torch-bearer armor and weapons straight out of Season 1 of Discovery. Woohoo! I'm excited, I can barely read. The TFOs that will be a part of this event are Defense of Starbase 1. That just makes me laugh. To Hell with Honor, Battle of the Binary Stars, Remain Klingon, Operation Riposte, Best Served Cold. So I think what we're gonna do when this goes live is actually just cycle through these. So change it up every night to include these. But Defense of Starbase 1 is always in our nightly pews because it is just fun for me personally. But look at this, Caps. Space Barbie. This is the armor that we're gonna get. Can't say that I'm excited for it personally. It does look very, very alien, but this is what we're gonna get along with a batleth here. But let's go ahead and read what it is. So the reward for this event, or the first event, okay, is the Torchbearer Collection. Upon completing 14 days of progress on a Good Day to Die event, you'll unlock the Torchbearer Collection. This package of items includes the Torchbearer Armor, Torchbearer EV Suit, that's cool, Torchbearer Costume Unlock, Space Barbies, and the Torchbearer Batleth. I'll be honest, I do not like the look of this Batleth. The design here doesn't make sense to me. It has the silhouette of it, sure, looks like it, but I prefer the old school. Called me exclamation boomer. These items sacred to the Klingon Empire will grant you some new abilities. The armor will grant you the ability to summon Klingon warriors to aid you. Interesting. And those warriors will taunt your enemies and force them to fight in melee range. That's pretty cool. Both the armor and the EV suit give you a bonus to energy resistance, run speed, and knockback resistance. The Batleth will deal physical and fire damage. Okay, that's cool. But the fire damage will continue in a cone beyond your initial attacks. All right. Now, upon claiming the grand prize, whether earned or purchased, your account will immediately become eligible for bonus progress. The first bonus progress rewarded will be accompanied by a reward of 8k dill. Earning bonus progress each day thereafter will increase this reward by an additional 1k. And you know, captains, what we say here, or to my new captains who are just joining here on the bridge and or Star Trek Online, we always recommend to do these events. We'll go in a little bit more detail of that in a bit. But also, once you even claimed it, do it after. Not only for the additional dilithium ore, but also the marks that you can use for your reputation. And if all your reputations are done, the gear from the reputations, or if you're done with that, you can convert those marks into dilithium ore. So I believe it's a win-win. We do our nightly PPs anyway, so this is going to help us, and it has helped us, especially gain in-game resources that you can use, of course, the dilithium ore to change it'll refine to dilithium. And of course, you can use that refined dilithium to change for Zen, which you can buy more ships for, what? Say it with me, pretty pew-pews. So, Event Campaign 5. Play through multiple events to earn your choice between premium T6 Starship choice. Only includes ships released before December 7. Interesting. Or 2 Zen Store Tier 6 Starship discount coupons, or a bundle of 1,500 Lobi crystals. A total of 5 events will participate in this event campaign, each contributing campaign progress toward this valuable prize. Earn progress for your entire account by participating in an eligible event, including after claiming the grand prize for each individual event, once per account, tradable between your characters. We hope you enjoyed this event, captains, and we will see you in the final frontier. So, captains, there you go. So for this particular event, this is our reward. Sounds pretty cool. Definitely going to get it. We'll use it just because, yeah, it does sound cool. Even though I don't like the visuals of it, we're going to give this to our Klingon tunes. I have about 3. Yeah, I have 3 of them. So there's that. Now, captains, here on the channel, about a couple weeks ago, here we did a video to how to get free ships items in Star Trek Online. This is, of course, one of them. Along, of course, we are just going through our 13th anniversary to get Baby V'ger. Now, this is the start of getting your at least one promo ship here if you decide to go with that reward. Now, having said that, we will show you, we'll go in game quickly here and show what that event campaign looks like. So when you head here into your events tab, last year, so event campaign 4, this is what we had to go through. We had to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 event campaigns. And to get a total progression of 3,500. Now you don't necessarily have to do all of it throughout the entire event, but we did. We decided to. You only have to get the progression, but you have to get 3,500 campaign progress to claim your either tier 6 starship choice, the premium one, 2 tier 6 ship coupons, and or of course the 1,500 low buy, which you can still get ships from in the low buy store. So of course for me, I do recommend getting the event campaign reward of the premium T6 starship, because again, these ships, they do cost a lot, either in real life money and or in-game resources. And of course, when you go to reward info, this is all the ships that you will get. This is only including now the ships up to 2022, or I should say 2021 for this one. But now, of course, this year's campaign will include all ships up to 2023. Now, I did say him earlier, but there's a reason for that. And we're going to go through the ships that were added to this year's premium reward. But again, here is the list here. Of course, you can just find this in your event tab if you go to reward info. Now, quickly going back to here. So again, all the ships that were released last year premium wise we'll go over. So I went through the YouTube blog, and this is what we came up with from the beginning of the year until the end, and we'll see. But definitely the ones that were within the year are included, and we'll start off here. So the Emerald Chain Intel Juggernaut. This was one of the first ships for 2022 that were released. So this was January 22nd. And of course, as we can see there, that is from Star Trek Discovery, which was pretty cool. We didn't get it, but who knows? Maybe this is something that I could put on the list in terms of ships that I want, because this has a battleship Yamato feel to me with all those cool little turrets. I think this is one of the first ships that have these type of animations, if I'm not mistaken, that has a non-transformation console to it. So that's pretty cool. That is now included there in this year's campaign for 2023. Next up, I believe here is the Command Section 31 Dreadnought. So, or the Section 31 Dreadnought, I should say. So this was released in March of 2022. So it's like the battle cruiser, but just kind of a Miranda style. It's probably something that I could put on my list. I like command ships, but the design I'm not really too crazy about. For some reason, it's not really calling out to me, just like a old stealthified Miranda times 3 in terms of size. So there's that. Next one up is the Marion class. So this ship, I made fun of its sort of shape here in terms of what it reminded me of. It reminded me of a guitar pick. A guitar pick with 4 nail filer nacelles. But it is here. It is a command ship, so it is, again, something that I do like command, but the shape of it, it's not really something I like in terms of, or I should say looks, but it is going to be there for you, Caps, as a choice. Next up, the California class from Cerritos. So this was May 5th, 2020. I'm not sure why this gave me this type of, in terms of layout here in the arc, the same side. But regardless, it's from Lower Decks, of course, the California class. Cerritos is in game. It's a fun ship. I have said this before. I didn't think I was going to get it, but because I watched Lower Decks, I needed to get it. I needed to get the hero ship from the show, and now is your chance. And I know a couple of captains do want this as their pick for this year. It is going to be available now in this event campaign. Next up is the Cheval. This ship I was excited for, and I did not hesitate to get right away, as we did have some boxes in terms of premium ones, because we do open them, but we do stay within our limits. So I was very fortunate that I had some boxes from previous years that we just held on to. So this is a fun ship. It's really fun. I do like it. And it is the first Vulcan ship that I owned, which led me to getting the Dekir, as my tier 5 reward. But again, this is also from Lower Decks. It's a cool ship. I do like it and highly do recommend it as well. Next up is the Acheron Dreadnought. So this was Emperor Wesley's ship. And I've said this before in previous videos, this is one of my guesses on what the premium ship will be in the 13th anniversary bundle. Some people say it's too early, but it's going to be there as a choice for you captains if you want. Personally, again, the thing I poke fun at it is the original style of the ship was the Styx, which I named it the Cockroach. Now it is the Acheron, which I named this the Hammerhead Cockroach because of the bridge or the front there. But it's going to be there available for you. And of course, it was Emperor Wesley's ship. Next up, yes, 100% yes, I recommend this, the Sagan Command Cruiser. Of course, this was the USS Stargazer in Star Trek Picard Season 2. It is still one of my favorite ships of this year, and I recently went back to it, and I do love this. The Ford nacelle, the upgraded look of the Stargazer, I just love it. And the lore behind it, they already gave it, that has like incorporated Borg technology. And hopefully we get to see more of it in Season 3 of Picard. But yes, we are going to have this available, or you're going to have this available. I already do have the ship for this year's event campaign as well. Next up is the Farragut. Now this is from the Strange New Worlds, and this was seen in the last episode, episode 10 of Strange New Worlds, in that sort of alternate what-if timeline. And this was Kirk's ship. So if this is something that appeals to you, Caps, it's going to be there. To me personally, I did not get it. I just did not like the deflector, to be honest with you. And now this does actually come with a different set of pylons. It's just more straight. It doesn't curve in, but it is there. The Farragut Temporal Cruiser. Again, it is literally the same style as the Donnie, but just different nacelles and deflector. Next up is the Courier Pilot Raider. Don't have this, don't care to have this, but it's there for you. I hear that it's either the trade or the console that people like on this, but to me it looks like a Tholian in space. I can't unsee it. That is kind of what I thought, and it is there. So it's still within, of course, 2022. Now the next up is the Praetor Command ship, Warbird, or what they call it here, the Praetor Command Warbird Battle Cruiser. This again was from that same episode, same of Strange New Worlds, the episode 10, and it showed, of course, the Federation against the Romulan, and this was the big boy here. Now it does come with different skins. I just see a Screaming Goose. I'm sorry, I can't, but I've seen maybe 2 people fly this. But it is there for you, Caps. If you wanted a Strange New Worlds Romulan cap to have this ship, it is there for you. Now, this is where I went, because the last ship released last year in 2022 is the Excelsior. Now, they said here in the blog here, ships released up to December 7. What does the blog say here? So this was December 1. So where does this land? I need to know where this lands. Does it say? Does it say? I would like to think this is what it actually does say. So December 1. It doesn't say here when this thing was going to be available, does it? Normally, I'd like to think this is going to be released still within this year's, or will be available in this year's campaign. I'm going to say it's going to be released, but hopefully it is, because this is such a fun ship. This was the last ship release of 2022, and usually within a week they include it, but this is actually saying the 7th, so you may have to double check on that quickly. We'll go here quickly, one sec here. We'll go to the bridge here, and we'll go to Google quickly off here and go stow Excelsior 2. Okay, here we go. We went to the stow wiki. So let's go back here. We went to stow wiki. Wasn't too sure where to go, but yes, stow wiki. Now, when did the ship release? Release date December 6, 2022. Okay. Woo! Okay, so again, let's make sure. They say here in the before December 7th. This just squeaked by 1 day. But highly recommended, because of course it looks awesome. But the console on this, Captains, has been so much fun. It is literally a beam overload fire at will beam overload, however you want to call it. And this is going to help my immersion tremendously, and yours if you decide to get this. Oh, there you go. It was here all along on December 6th. Jeez. So there you go. I worried there a little bit. My apologies, Captains. I was so panicked that I was afraid that this wasn't going to include it. But it is. It would have made no sense if they didn't include it, and I'm sure pitchforks would have been there by fellow captains. So the console on this is so fun, and the ship itself just looks so good. Between this and the Sagan, it's going to be hard for me to recommend one or the other, and I'm just going to have to say it's going to be like personal preference. You can't go wrong with an Excel 2.0 because, again, it has that sort of traditional starship look to it, with the nacelles, of course, the two nacelles, saucer, secondary hull. The Sagan, of course, has the 4 nacelle, no secondary hull necessarily because it's all attached to one, but I do like my 4 nacelle ships. But that is going to be something to consider as your event reward for this year's campaign for 2023. So there you go, Caps. We thought we would just kind of go over that, and of course kind of give our recommendations for the ships of this year. Me personally, if there is a ship that has gone, or ships that have gone to the list, it is going to be the Emerald Chain Juggernaut, the Section 31 Dreadnought, and pretty much that's it on my list, on my personal list. But my recommendation, like I said, is either going to be the Sagan, because of course this was a new ship that we saw in Star Trek Picard, along with the Excel 2.0. Now, before we go, we're going to refresh this just in case. Of course, we're waiting on more 13th anniversary bundle news for the ships, and what I was kind of waiting on is more or less the sort of teaser. So, but if that does come out later, Captains, we'll just do another video for it. But there you go. Like the video. Let us know below what ships you're going to be considering as your choice for this year in terms of the event campaign. Mine will probably still be at the top of the list, is going to be that D7 ship for the trait Ruin of Our Enemies, and or the Borg Juggernaut ship, because we still don't have that one. So those two are at the top of the list for this year's campaign reward. Last year, it's going to be, I keep alluding to this, it is going to lead into a build series, which soon, Captains, we will do that soon once the time is right. We were supposed to do this last year, but there's another time that we can do it, which will help us get that out here and do one of our favorite series that we've done so far. It's going to be like in the same format of Star Trek Day series that we did. So I'm looking forward to that. But there you go, Captains. For our new Captains, again, this is your chance to not only get free ships, okay, but also get a good bag of resources into your bridge there in terms of dilithium, marks, all that stuff. But of course, the real sort of sharp recommendation here is to do it because of the free ships that you can get. And like I mentioned in the video before, this is one of the many ways that you can get free ships here. And this is like one of the best things that has come for me personally, because I've gotten through this, the Deimos pilot destroyer, which came with the Emerald Phaser Lance. I've enjoyed that ship quite nicely. And of course, this year we're going to get the ones that will help us in terms of our immersion more deeply, but more on that. So please, captains, do this. It's pretty much just a time investment. And for us, we will definitely be doing this either on the YouTube bridge or the Twitch bridge, and we'll do our dailies always. And of course, if any more news comes out, we will always drop our 2EC. So captains, with that said, of course, subscribe here to YouTube bridge, and we will leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.